Welcome back to Big Si Blogs. Yes, I am Big Si, and it's another late one, unfortunately. So, today's news. There's been three videos uploaded off Raise the Colours, Ryan. And to be honest, it's quite upsetting, really, how people are sort of attacking what they're doing. Yes, they were outside, they were flagging. Now, they got cornered last night. Let me just defend Ryan and the lads. They were out flagging. They go from lamppost to lamppost, and they got cornered, by a gang of all these, the locals, or the lefties, let's say the lefties, that object against it. And they don't just have to say, they keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and obviously they're attacking verbally with Ryan and the lads. You're not going to stand there. You're going to retaliate and you're going to say what you think. You're going to get your point across. If they're coming at you with a camera in your face, you're going to give it back to them. Now, when he was standing back and walking away, he noticed that the car had no number plates on. The car that they were there, they actually turned up. They had no number plates on. Obviously, they didn't want the number plates taken. And inside the car, they had a pole with barbed wire and some sort of knife to cut the flags down. Sabotage the flags. Sabotage the country. Treason. Isn't that what that's what it is, isn't it? In effect, treason. So, and not just that, people have paid for these flags, donated for these flags, and asked Ryan to put them up, and that's what he's doing. You know what I mean? So if they're attacking him, he's going to stand his ground, and the lads are going to stand their ground, which is what anybody would do. Now, last night was a bit heated here and there. Not heated, no, I'm wrong in saying that. Last night was a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? Confrontational. There you are. A bit for confrontational. So, and the video says Ryan's standing back, and as he stands back, they're moving forward. Many times he said, look, I'm standing back out in my own space. Do not follow me. They kept coming forward. So, I mean, if you keep coming back, there's a certain point you have to defend yourself. There was no violence. There's no violence whatsoever. There was nothing. They kept standing back. Ryan's a personality I like. He's a funny character. You've got to know. I don't know the personality. You've got to know a personality like that to understand how it works. I have lots of friends with personalities like Ryan, and if you don't know it, you're not going to get it at all. So anyway, that's that. They did the video last night, shut down. I uploaded the one last night late. Quite a lot of views. I left a couple of bits out for what I thought anyway. I thought was not on Ryan's side. On the other side, I thought was inappropriate. I left that out, And today, now, 3 people have contacted Ryan. The BBC, the local BBC radio or news place, wherever it is, and they're on the phone to Ryan and they're condemning him, and they're trying to call him. They're trying to get him to say things it's not true, and they're writing it down. But when Ryan's correcting them, they're not. You'll see the video. They're not putting it down. They're not saying. So Ryan's having to say, "Are you putting that down? Are you going to put it down?" Well, I want to hear both sides of the story. They've had reports. Well, anybody can make a report. I can make a report about you. That doesn't mean to say it's true. The call went on for a while with the BBC News. That's one. So we'll label that video 3, right? So I'll upload 3 videos. Video 2 is a news programme. And this is the local MP, who somebody's rang him up. Obviously, a lefty knows the MP. I'm fed up with this. You'll have to do something. They've contacted another media company to contact. I'm not going to give them the airspace. Contact Ryan again and rang him and the same sort of thing, questioning him, picking him out. You've done this, you've done that. Ryan hasn't done it. He's proved he hasn't done it. And I don't think Ryan's the type of guy to lie either. He knows where the boundary is. His toes touch the boundary at times, yes, but doesn't cross the boundary. He doesn't cross the boundary. So they're ringing up complaining to the local MP. The MP's on the news programme today, whinging and complaining and saying they need to reach out to the local police and the local council to stop this. What's going on? Raise the flags and this, that, the other. It only should be approved flag hanging from the local council, which is wrong. If you're passionate about your country, then we should be able to hang our flags. So there's video number 2. That last video is obviously another media station, a local paper, I think it is, Haley somebody, and she's trying to corner Ryan. So I'll use this intro on all 3 videos because otherwise it's just going to be... But I'll label the videos 1 and 2 and 3. I don't think Ryan did anything wrong. I don't think any of the lads did anything wrong apart from stand their ground, show how passionate they feel. If you don't like it, like Ryan says, they come up to him. They're saying that he's intimidating and he's stalking them, you know. They come up. Another thing is, a guy said he's assaulted him. He rang an ambulance. And an ambulance turned up and he stood laughing. There was nothing wrong with him. Why would you ring 999 for an ambulance when there's nothing wrong with you? You know, he said he caught his leg on something. You know, why ring an ambulance if you're standing there laughing? Anyway, so now there's an investigation up for this guy because, man, they have to prove it. They have to prove it before any crime is committed. And if that's the case, if it's not proven, then the flags will fly, won't they? Even more flags will fly. So right, I'm going to end this. I've talked too long. I'll talk a few minutes. Video 1, video 2, video 3. Leave your comments below.
Post. It happened on the corner of Mayfield Road in Sturchley last night. The man hit suffered a broken leg. It's triggered calls for police and council leaders to do more to stop the spread of flags. Well, our reporter David Lum has been following this and joins us now. David, what exactly do we know?
Well, Becky, we know that police say they're investigating what they're calling a collision involving a pedestrian and a so-called van in Sturchley last night, in which a man in his 30s suffered leg injuries. He's currently in hospital, and police say that the vehicle has been recovered in Prince Road and they're looking through CCTV to try and work out what happened. Now, we know that the group Raise the Colours, which has been putting flags up across the region, was in Sturchley last night. The group has repeatedly been in confrontations with locals about the flying of flags, and one resident earlier told us that people have felt intimidated.
For nearly a year now, we've felt like we've been under attack, we've been under siege, and there's people who won't even report to the police what's happened to them because they're afraid of reprisal. There's people who don't feel safe walking down the high street, to the supermarket, to the local businesses that have been targeted.
Well, earlier I spoke to Ryan Bridge from Raise the Colours and I put to him the suggestion that his followers were being aggressive. He denied that. He said that the group doesn't condone any aggression or violence, and he said actually it was them that faced the aggression on this occasion.
I'm just really upset that people do not want to join us in making this a family-based community thing, as opposed to for them to get their groups of masked people on the streets, out in force, ripping and tearing flags down of their country. I think it's an act of treason.
And David, there's been quite a response to this.
Yes, the Selly Oak MP Al Khans, he's condemned all attempts to hijack the flag and has written to West Midlands Police to ask its thoughts on preventable measures or potentially injunctions for unauthorised flag displays. The Birmingham Liberal Democrats, they've called for action from the police and the council to stop further public disorder. And the group Birmingham United Against Fascism and Hate Crime, it's called for urgent action to stop what it calls fears, threats and intimidation.
Okay, David, thank you very much. What about flags being tied to lump?